For centuries, the story of the Queen of Sheba was treated as just that, a story. A legendary desert queen, named Bilqīs, who arrived in Jerusalem with a caravan of camels so laden with gold, spices, and precious stones that she left even the wise King Solomon speechless. But what if the legend is true? What if we could prove it? Today we can. The proof isn't in a lost scripture or a golden tablet. It's in something much smaller, much humbler, tiny, glossy cowrie shells. These aren't just any shells. They are Monaria moneta and Monaria annulus, species that could only have come from one place on Earth, the distant coral reefs of the Maldives, thousands of kilometers away across the open ocean. And archaeologists are finding them, by the hundreds and thousands, in the ruins of ancient South Arabia, in the very kingdom ruled by Queen Bilqīs in the 10th century BCE. These shells have turned a timeless legend into documented history. They prove that Bilqīs wasn't just a local ruler of the Arabian desert. She was a global trade magnate, the monarch who first mastered the monsoon winds to turn the entire Indian Ocean into her personal highway of wealth. Let's follow the evidence. The archaeological record is now crystal clear. At the exact time Bilqīs reigned, from about 965 to 945 BCE, her kingdom of Saba was already operating a maritime network that stretched 3,500 kilometers across the sea. In her capital city of Marib, in modern-day Yemen, archaeologists have unearthed hundreds of cowries right inside the royal palace complex and the Great El Makka Temple. Some were perforated to be worn as jewelry by the elite, while others were found in small hoards in royal residences. This shows that the queen herself was receiving these exotic goods from the Indian Ocean. Just a short distance away, in the second royal city of Surwa, the story is the same. Dozens of cowries were found in the palace and temple foundations, confirming that the entire ruling family shared in this exclusive trade. But the trail doesn't stop in Arabia. Across the Red Sea, in northern Ethiopia, lies the ruins of Yah. Here, a magnificent temple was built in the distinct architectural style of Saba, and beneath its altars and walls, excavators found hundreds of cowrie shells, deliberately placed as foundation offerings. This identical ritual use proves a single, unified supply system controlled by Saba, stretching across both Africa and Arabia. How did these shells get inland? At the site of Hajar ibn Humayd, a caravan station deep inside Yemen, 300 kilometers from the coast, numerous cowries were found in houses and storerooms. This shows they traveled from Queen Bilqīs's ports by camel, becoming a key part of the famous incense route trade. And where were these ports? At places like Kani on the Gulf of Aden, cowries appear in the very earliest occupation levels. This was the harbor where the great monsoon ships docked. Even further east, in modern Oman, the Sabaeans built a fortress city called Sumharam, right in the heart of the frankincense forests. Here, an astonishing 4,000 cowries have been found, including complete necklaces. This was a strategic move to control 100% of the trade, a customs house at the source of both Arabian incense and Indian Ocean luxuries. These are not random shells washed ashore. Many have their backs ground away, a specific modification done only in the Maldives before shipment. This proves they were part of a bulk, organized trade. You don't get thousands of shells across a dozen sites by accident. This was the result of repeated, planned voyages carrying hundreds of kilograms of shells. It required a masterful understanding of the monsoon winds, a feat of navigation that was already perfected during the Queen of Sheba's reign. So what does this all mean? The queen and her priests held a monopoly. The shells appear first and most abundantly in palaces and temples, showing that the profits flowed directly to the top. Bilqīs controlled the west with her exclusive supply of frankincense and myrrh, and she controlled the east by making her ports the mandatory destination for all ships carrying goods from India and the Maldives. No other ruler at the time, not in Egypt or China, had this unique combination of a priceless resource and total maritime dominance. The Bible calls her the Queen of the South. The Quran says she was a sovereign to whom everything was given. South Arabian traditions remember her as the ruler who brought prosperity by mastering both land and sea. And now, modern archaeology, through the humble cowrie shell, confirms it all. When Bilqīs visited Solomon, she wasn't just showing off her wealth, she was demonstrating her power. The gold and spices were just the tip of the iceberg. the visible sign of a vast fortune generated by ships that sailed far out of sight of land. These tiny white shells, unearthed from the sands of Yemen, Ethiopia, and Oman, are more powerful than any written text. They are the physical proof that 3,000 years ago, a queen on the edge of the Arabian desert turned the Indian Ocean into her treasury. For a brilliant moment in history, she was the richest monarch the world had ever seen, the true ruler of both the East and the West. Thank you for watching. If you found this journey back in time as fascinating as I did, please like, subscribe,